Professor W. I am a professor at a local college here in Texas. I'm putting these videos together to help my online students understand the concepts that we are teaching. In addition, I'm going to make them available to everybody online. So if it helps you, wonderful. First, we will go over the introductory paragraph. Now, an introductory paragraph needs to have a few specific elements. Element 1 is going to be your attention getter. Element 2 is going to be the background information. Element 3 is going to be a thesis statement. And element 4 is going to be a layout sentence. Now that I've told you the 4 parts that need to be in your introductory paragraph, we're going to go over each part one by one. Your attention getter. An attention getter is supposed to do exactly what it says. Get the reader's attention. So, you need to use something that talks about your topic, but does not blatantly state your topic. Now, attention getters are found in creative writing, they're found in academic writing. And believe it or not, they're actually found in like movie trailers and things like that. Because the reality is many humans have very short attention spans. So we want to grasp your reader's attention immediately. Now the good thing when it comes to writing academic essays is you're dealing with human nature, which means that everybody wants to either argue a point or decide that you're right and have more ammo to be able to argue a point. So your attention getter needs to be something that has a little bit of muscle. You can use statistics. You can use a quote. You can use a proverb. And you can use a factual statement. As an attention getter, you don't want to ask a question, you want to make a statement. Let's say my topic is that golden retrievers are the best family dog. Now, it's a topic. It is something that somebody would be willing to argue with. There are people that agree with that and don't agree with that. So my attention getter needs to have something that is on point, but not completely on topic. For instance, I could use a statistic about how many golden retrievers are owned currently in the U.S. or how many golden retrievers are registered with the AKC currently in the U.S. Number of retrievers or number of goldens. I could also use a quote that is something like, dogs are man's best friend. Okay, once again, it's getting your attention. It is telling you approximately what you're going to be talking about. You're going to be talking about dogs, obviously, or golden retrievers, depending on which one you choose as far as your attention getter. It makes your reader want to figure out exactly what is going to be written about. After the attention getter, you need background information. Remember that your argument and or your main idea for your entire essay is Goldens make the best family pets. So what kind of information would be in the background? Well, background information needs to be just that. It needs to explain the basis of your argument. So you will need to do research for background information. Background information for this would be something like when the breed originated. If you didn't use it for attention getter, you can say how many are currently in US or registered. You could do your own kind of research and look at like golden retriever blogs and things like that. Find out maybe why they make the best family pets or how they're versatile or information like that. You can also, your background needs to be basically what makes a good family pet. Okay, so by doing this, you're laying out your entire idea. What are you going to talk about when you're writing your essay? 3 needs to be a thesis statement. Your thesis statement is the main idea of the entire essay. In one of my other videos, I will go into more detail about how to write a thesis statement. However, this is the definition of a thesis statement. An example for this would be Goldens make the best family pets. That right there is a thesis statement. It is clear, straightforward, makes a statement, is one-sided. Now what I mean about one-sided is that you are picking a side. You are not saying that Goldens are one of the best family dogs. You are not saying that Goldens could be the best family dogs. You're not saying that Goldens are good dogs. You are saying golden retrievers are the best family dogs. There's no room for argument there in your essay. Now, yes, people can argue with you because they may not agree with your statement. However, that kind of thesis statement is going to make somebody continue to read. Once again, we are going back to human nature. Human nature is going to say, yes, I agree, so I want to continue to read to find out why I'm right, or they are wrong, that is an incorrect statement, and so I'm going to read it to find out how I can prove them wrong. Now, the last part and the last sentence in your introductory paragraph needs to be a layout. Now, a layout sentence is a sentence that lists 3 points that will be discussed in the essay. So when we are trying to actually figure out what we're going to be talking about within an essay, we have to come up with reasons that prove our argument. For instance, we have to come up with 3 reasons golden retrievers are the best family pets. 1, let's say the dogs are versatile. Now, being versatile means that the dog can do many different things. They can be used for hunting. They can be used for a companion. They can be used for a therapy dog. They are more than happy to stay at home and play in the backyard, or they're more than happy to go on a 3-mile hike with you. They are just a very versatile breed. So that is what you would explain. Number 2, they are caring. Golden Retrievers, their main goal is to actually please their owner. So because of that, they're very, very attentive and very caring. If you would prefer to use attentive, that would work just fine. Then you would go on to explain how this makes that dog the best family pet. Number 3 is they do well with children. Okay, so there are many different breeds that put up with kids, but Goldens really put up with kids because I have 2 of my own. I can tell you young children are obnoxious. They don't think a lot of times before they act when it comes to a dog. And so Golden Retrievers will put up with a lot of different things, and you can do research to figure out what that is and how that is beneficial for a family with children. Then you would explain that in your essay. Okay, so I'm going to pick one more controversial topic because they are actually one of the easiest to write about. And hopefully walk you through this introductory one more time. Give me a second while I think about this. You may agree or disagree with this, but I've come up with a topic that raises a lot of people's hairs on the back of their neck. And the reason I have done this is because it proves my point. So currently within the United States, there have been a lot of newscasts and a lot of newspaper articles and a lot of bloggers and a lot of people on Facebook, and everybody's screaming that Black Lives Matter. And everybody else screaming all lives matter. I am not going to give my opinion on this one way or the other. We are just going to pick one. And we are going to go through how to do an introductory paragraph about that topic. So let's just choose the one that is the bigger argument, which is all lives matter. So first, we are going to have an attention getter. Right now I am wishing this was live so I can actually get feedback as far as what you believe an attention getter would be. However, an attention getter for All Lives Matter is, let's say, no matter a person's skin color, their life matters. So that is on topic, but it's not your thesis, which is all lives matter. So that's the thing you need to do, is make sure that your attention getter does not repeat your thesis. After your attention getter, you have to do background information. Okay, so background would be research on, how about the number of people currently in the world, or in the U.S.? The current controversy. So the current controversy as far as black lives, white lives, purple lives, green lives, and every life. Why there is a controversy into what matters more. And I guess you can throw in the whole idea of blue lives matter. Because it is part of the controversy. Then we would go into thesis. My thesis is, the truth is that all lives matter. And I'm running out of room. So give me a second to erase this. The last part, you're going to have to actually decide what 3 points you're going to make to support your idea that all lives matter. Or if you're writing one about black lives matter, or blue lives matter, or like I said, purple, green, yellow, orange, it does not matter. You have to come up with 3 ideas as to why your point is the truth. So, after you do that, you can actually write your layout. Please excuse the barking. So, for your layout, once you've figured out your 3 reasons, I'm just going to brainstorm and come up with 3. You would then write a layout. So what I came up with is, this is true because life is precious, all humans matter to someone, and hate is not the answer. So hopefully you can see how we went through the whole introductory paragraph. I will be doing another video about the first, second, and third supporting paragraphs and what belong in those.